forever associated with the outlandishly brilliant Catalan architect Antonio Gaudiy. It's the greatest symbol of the region of Catalonia, but for decades, ever since Gaudi died, leaving it unfinished in fact, it's also been a monument to enigmatic genius, frozen at the moment when the one man who could complete it was no longer around to do so. This eastern facade of the Sagrada Familia is indisputably true to Gaudiy's extraordinary vision. It was completed before his death in the 20s. Now, some people who come here and look at his nativity think maybe the old boy was off his trolley. He was certainly obsessive, compulsive, fanatical about getting the details right. He had turkeys anaesthetised so he could make plaster casts of them and see how they'd look up here. He even had a live braying donkey winched up the side of the basilica just to get a perspective on how that might look in his nativity scene. Talking of perspective, you might think it's a given that all this work by Gaudiy's successors would be well appreciated. But no, some say the building would have been better left unfinished.
It's a queer piece that won't take the centre. It won't be a place that architects will come for inspiration.
Really? You don't think so?
No, not at all. And if they do, they're on the wrong track.
The Sagrada Familia is an architectural tour de force, a huge tourist attraction and a working church. The Pope was here to consecrate the Sagrada Familia last year, official recognition from the Mother Church for the temple Gaudi had imagined as a great forest. While Father Luis Bonet attends to the souls of his flock at the Sagrada Familia,
now we are in the choir.
His brother Gaudiy is responsible for their physical well-being while they're under this roof. Let me just repeat that, this roof. Bonet, chief architect here for some 30 years and therefore Gaudiy's successor, has finally achieved what he failed to do. The great basilica now keeps the rain out.
Anything that we see here was nothing.
It wasn't only here, no.
The two facades, but Gaudiy has made models so it will be possible to build exactly with completely fidelity to Gaudiy ideas.
So you think this is still Gaudiy's building? This is still true to his vision?
This is completely Gaudiy.
This is the old city of Palma, beautiful one.
Yes.
And this is the edge.
But David Mackey begs to differ. He's a British architect based in Barcelona who helped to transform the port area when the Olympic Games came here 20 years ago. He says Gaudiy's heirs have got it wrong.
I admire how their courage and they sustained the going through decades to achieve what they've done or what they think is Gaudiy, but it's not Gaudiy. Gaudiy was essentially a person concerned with structure. The columns are not vertical, they lean towards you, everything like that. That was all calculated for stone. And it's not built in stone, everything's been built in reinforced concrete.
You think it's a bit of a travesty?
If you're looking for Gaudiy, yes. If you're looking for that sort of building, no. I mean, the Japanese seem to like it enormously.
I plan to take up Mr. Mackey's points with Senor Bonet, but first he's giving me a rare tour of the works.
Go.
Yeah?
To the top.
If you hold my hand.
Yes, yes.
Let's try it.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
We're 70 metres off the ground. One great central steeple, still to be added, will take the full height to 170 metres. Bonet says he's sticking to Gaudiy's designs, which called for a monument with 18 towers.
Now we have 4 and 4, 8. We need
and you're going to have another one here?
No, another one. 10.
Oh, 10 more?
10 more. 4.
It's never going to be finished.
Yes, no.
It will never be finished, will it?
I will not finish, but sure this will be finished in the future.
What about the criticism that Senor Bonet and his colleagues would have been better off leaving the basilica alone? Some observers go even further. Now, there's one critic in London who says they should take a machine gun and shoot away some of the sculpture and some of the new things. What do you say?
Always in the world, people that has some ideas of destruction. I think that we build something that the majority of our people like, that we continue the continuation.
Oh wow, look at this.
When you.
The nerveless Senor Bonet gets about the site with an agility other 86-year-olds might envy. Even a few 46-year-olds. He told me he enjoyed mountaineering as a young man, and I don't doubt it.
This is not the best way.
You know, in another 30 years, you may have difficulty getting up these. Even though the Sagrada Familia is finally habitable, so to speak, the work goes on inexorably. The most recently posted deadline is 2026, 100 years since Gaudiy's death. But as long as the tourist revenue keeps coming, Bonet will keep building. Or rather, his successors will. Is there something about the Sagrada Familia? It became an obsession for Gaudiy. It seems to be a bit of an obsession for you.
I think that is passion and work, a passion and work.
Passion and work.
Yes, really.
You can't,
and not only for myself, also for the people that work, the workers. They are satisfied.
All the little people down there. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
They look little from here. This extraordinary building will surely grow ever more familiar to visitors, even as it becomes less and less like the half-finished shell left by Gaudiy, its visionary creator. Here in Catalonia, architecture is embodying change. This shopping mall in Barcelona has been converted from a 15,000-seater bull ring. Hemingway must be spinning like a matador in a tight spot, replacing the blood-soaked and pheromone-drenched arena with sweet-smelling boutiques is adding girly insult to injury, at least as far as the true aficionado is concerned.
Me parece que es una mala cosa.
It's a bad thing. It's a difficult time for us to keep the Barcelona bullring going, because it would appear that the politicians don't want there to be bulls.
Ernest Hemingway was a big fan of bullfighting, and he died 50 years ago this summer. He would probably be horrified by what you've decided to do here.
But a lot of people are happy.
I think that Spaniards are in evolution as other countries. I know it was not the same 20 years ago, but now Spain is not so old-fashioned country like 20 years ago.
Aficionados, the fans of bullfighting, claim Catalonia will no longer be truly Spanish after the last bullfight is held here this summer. But others in Barcelona and elsewhere say it's part of a change that the modern Spain requires.